Guys, the Super Review Show here for another episode of Rock Talk. This is the show where I break down albums that either have anniversaries or they turn 30, 40, 50, whatever, or they're just that good and you have to listen to them. They're, regardless of what you think of the genre or think of the artist, they're just that good you should listen to it and give it a shot. As the title of this video suggests, and I have waited for this day for a long time, today is the 30th anniversary of one of the most pioneering albums of 1991, known as U2's Achtung Baby. This album, from start to finish, is a masterpiece. Is it the Joshua Tree? No. I know I said initially, when I did my Why You Should Listen to YouTube video, I said, the Joshua Tree is like their best album. It is. This is their second best album, in my opinion. Unforgettable Fire is great too, but this is like definitely up there for sure. So just look at the cover first and foremost. Let me show you the cover. Unbelievable tracks. Unbelievable album. This is not an original pressing. This is a reprint pressing from a couple years ago. But I bought it on vinyl so I could play it on vinyl. Why not, right? Anyways, today, November 18th, 2021, marks the 30th anniversary of this album. So, right off the bat, let me give you a little backstory, as I always do, because I have no one else to talk to about this stuff other than you. U2, in going into the 90s, were in a little bit of a creative rut, if you will. They started writing songs, they started doing different sounds, they were trying to experiment with different sounds, but that also led to them saying to each other, man, I don't really like you, you are not doing it well for me. They were dangerously close to breaking up, like super duper close to breaking up. Like, this sucks. But luckily, their breakthrough song, which was one of the biggest, most important songs on the record, saved them. The story goes is that The Edge was working on another track for this album, Mysterious Ways. But he was playing the guitar, he's doing the chords, and he stumbled upon the chord progression for the opening of for those of you who know what I'm talking about, the A minor to C to G to F to D chords, just saying. And Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer, walks in and says, this is something very special. This is something very special. And all of a sudden, what happened was they all started going to their instruments, and Bono went to the microphone, and Adam Clayton went to the bass guitar. And lo and behold, that was their song that kind of brought them back together as one, in a sense. Other tracks on this album, other standout hits on this album. In the midst of grunge, everyone. In the midst of grunge, they're still doing well, right? With such songs as Mysterious Waves was a big hit for them. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses is a great track on there. There's so many other great, even better than The Real Thing. Come on, it's just a fun song. You're the real thing, even better than the real thing. Come on, great stuff on there. There's a lot of really deep tracks, not necessarily. I mean, they weren't hits, of course, but there's a lot of great songs in general. Like Ultraviolet's a powerhouse, man. I got to tell you, Trying to Throw Your Arms Around the World. What a song! Hear me out for a sec. It's like a struggle song, like you're trying to throw your arms around the world. There's a line in this song, and I didn't go in depth with it on my Why You Should Listen to YouTube video, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with it here. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, and you're trying to throw your arms around the world. What does that mean? That's not a stupid line. That is life. Women, if you're out there listening to me, which I check the analytics to my YouTube channel, a lot of it is men, but women out there, you don't need men. You don't. You are women. You are strong. You are powerful. You are amazing people. Go you. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, and you're trying to throw your arms around the world. Fantastic line. Bono's lyric writing at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And how can we forget Acrobat, or even like The Fly was the first single they released, and people were like, what, this is U2? And then sure enough, they released the other singles on the album that boosted it to number one and all this stuff. There was no number one hits. There was no number one single hits on this album, but there was a bunch of songs that became hits on this album, and it kept U2 going. I want to touch on something in particular, because I saw them, I've only seen them once, unfortunately. I saw them on the Joshua Tree Tour 2017 tour, back a couple years ago. They played the song Ultraviolet. One of the most amazing things about this song to me is the ability to bring hope. Like, every time I listen to it, I personally think, this may sound ridiculous, this may sound cheesy, but this is the power of music, regardless of who it is, or regardless of whoever you listen to. It could be Eminem, it could be Jay-Z, it could be U2, it could be Rage Against the Machine, it could be Fugazi, it could be anyone, it could be Pearl Jam, whatever. Music has the ability to lift you up if you are feeling down. And this song, Ultraviolet, Light My Way, was a staple on their Joshua Tree anniversary tour. And they played Ultraviolet, and what they did in the background on the stage was really cool. They had like this thing where it's like, they played the song, and it's called, they did Her Story, which is empowering women around the world. They had like Rosa Parks. They had people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like they had like people like that, famous women who changed the world. Michelle Obama, anyone. So there's a ton. If you saw them on that tour, you definitely saw that montage, what I'm talking about. That's just a testament of their activism. But this album, from start to finish, truly set the standard of what U2 was and could be, and still is to this day. They still are a powerhouse stadium selling like act. This album cemented them as that again. And like Until the End of the World, I'm looking at the track listing right here. Until the End of the World, another great track. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? The lyrics make you get enveloped in the world that Bono and The Edge and Adam Clayton and Larry Mullen Jr. created. And it's such a powerful song. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? Great track. Check it out. Honestly, check out the whole album. But I want to touch on the last song on this album, which is Love is Blindness. Now, yes, Zoo Station, Even When the Real Thing, great powerhouse songs. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? Until the End of the World, Ultraviolet, Mysterious Ways, The Fly, all hard-hitting stuff, right? Not hard, but you know what I mean by hard. Love is Blindness closes out the album. What a dark song! A dark song. Dark! And I mean, like, they closed out the Zoo TV tour with it. I'll get to that in 1 second, too. Love is Blindness is one of those tracks that you just have to understand. It's this little not mellow. It's a dark song. And I was just listening to a podcast before I started this video about The Edge guest starring on Tom Morello's Maximum Firepower. Great podcast. Check it out. He's fantastic. Love is Blindness. The Edge talked about the solos on that, because at times, like, my favorite guitar parts ever for a U2 song is Love is Blindness. Love is Blindness is a dark song. Dark song. And the fact that it closes out the album, who would have thought? Now, one more thing I want to mention before I get to the Zoo TV tour part of this video is that Acrobat was played for the first time live ever on the Songs of the Experience and Innocence tour in 2018. They played that song for the first time live, and I was like, what? You never played Acrobat before? Acrobat's a great track, a very, very hard-hitting song. It's really good. Anyways, love it. So, if you follow their tour online and you follow like what they play on Setlist FM, there's a website called Setlist FM. Plug for them. People edit songs that they've been to, concerts, whatever shows. It's a website where you can track your concerts. I do that too personally because I go to a lot of shows. So what I did was, I was looking at what they played on the Experience and Innocence tour. Mind you, this is right after the Joshua Tree tour. So they did not play Where the Streets Have No Name. They did not play Stuff I Found What I'm Looking For, With or Without You. They didn't play any Joshua Tree songs at all. They wanted to give those a rest, which made sense. Instead, aside from Songs of Experience, what other album did they draw from heavily heavily, I tell you, heavily. Achtung Baby. So, and this is before they went to the Joshua Tree Tour, went to 2019 and into Australia and whatnot. But they first time, I looked for it the other day. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses was played for the first time since 2006 on that tour. Acrobat, live debut. What's the other one they did? Not Mysterious Ways. Zoo Station, first time live since 2010. So, one obviously played. Until the End of the World, even better than the real thing. So, my theory is that they're going to do a Zoo TV Tour Part 2. Now, for those of you who don't know, so what the hell is a Zoo TV Tour? Zoo TV Tour was the tour that they toured this album on in the 90s. My dad, that was his first show that he saw U2 on. He saw them at Yankee Stadium in the 90s, 92, I think. So, my theory, because COVID is still a real thing, it's unfortunate, but it's dying down a lot. Why has U2 not done anything as far as like announcements go for a Zoo TV Tour 30th anniversary tour? Because now's the time to do it, guys. You too, if you're out there listening to me, watching me, listening, whatever you have to do, you are sitting on untapped money to do a second Zoo TV tour. Because the tour started in 1992. Because the album, released today, November 18th, 1991, toured in 1992 and 1993. And why don't you do that? Why don't you just play this album start to finish like you did with the Joshua Tree, like you did with that tour, and open up with Sunday Bloody Sunday, New Year's Day, whatever, right? You open up with a couple of songs, then you start the album. The only difference is, though, is the thing with U2 on that tour was that made sense. You open up with Sunday Bloody Sunday, New Year's Day, Bad, Pride in the Name of Love, then the Joshua Tree album. So, and then chronologically made sense because that kind of mapped out their career, and then their post-Joshua Tree hits, right? So, Achtung Baby would be a little different. How do you fit this in to making this like the set list wise? Because if they copy, unless there's two ways I believe they could do it. Either A, they do it they open up the show with the album Zoo Station, even better than the real thing. One, they just start like that, and then they go to their greatest hits. Hear me out. My phone number is right here. Contact me at thesuperreviewshow@gmail.com or on Twitter, Instagram, anyone. I'm giving you help. Or they do what they did for the Joshua Tree Tour. There's a couple of opening songs, whatever, and then they go from there. I don't know what they're going to do because they haven't announced anything yet. I'm waiting to hear this announcement for the next tour. And let's face it, concerts are not gone. I went to 8 this year. I saw the Hella Mega Tour. This is a side note. Hella Mega Tour, Guns N' Roses. Saw the Foo Fighters open Madison Square Garden. Come on. Concerts are back. You can do it. U2, we're waiting for you. Just saying. But I'm telling you, Zoo TV Tour, the Joshua Tree Anniversary Tour made $300 million. It was one of the highest grossing tours of all time. $300 million. That's crazy. So what you're going to do, and you have this, it was so positively reviewed, incredibly well done. Why don't you do that again with Achtung Baby? You are just sitting on untapped money, you two. You can easily do this. Easily. Play a couple of other songs toward the end of the show. Make it a 25-song set. You call it a day. Or maybe a 26, 27 set. Play a longer show. I don't know. Look, you're sitting on untapped money. You can just milk that cow all you want if you announce that tour. Just saying, for 2022. And look, bands, like I have tickets for the Red Hot Chili Peppers next year. Because they announced the tour. Because, all right, we can do it. We feel comfortable doing it. We're giving whatever's going on. We feel safe. You too. You're sitting on untapped money. Just do it at this point. Do it and you'll be good. So, anyways, happy anniversary to Achtung Baby. I'll show it once again. Happy anniversary to this incredible album with incredible stories, incredible songs on this record. What do you guys think? Jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you guys are. If you're a fan of this album, if you like it, if you don't like it. Hopefully you like it. It's a great album. But listen, start to finish, what do you guys think? Will they do a Zoo TV tour part 2? Please jump down in the comment section below, share your thoughts, and share this video. But for all of your Rock Talk episodes and many more on the way, keep locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off to rock. And who's going to ride your wild horses?